What's up, Art Hive? It's Mando, and just like everyone else, I love Sketchbook Storytimes, and I wanted to do one for so long, but I didn't really know about what. But then a week or so ago in the Art Hive Discord server, people started talking about the end of friendships, and I suddenly remembered this really odd friendship that I once had and lost. And I knew I wanted to talk about this, so I decided to start my Sketchbook Storytime videos with the story of how I lost a friend because I watched anime. Yes, that you heard correctly. Before we get into it though, I want to thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. That is crazy. I am so happy for your support, so I really gotta get started on that art contest now, huh? And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to join our art community and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post. I also want to quickly show you this week's feature raffle winner, and the winner is Minion Bros Gamer. The link to their channel is in the description, and if you want to win a shout out in my next video, all you gotta do is to leave a comment. Now, let's get into this really weird story time. So, just to give you some backstory, when I was kind of young, I dated this guy. Let's call him Chris. I honestly think that the only reason we started dating was because in our really small town, we were the only two people who liked the same music and dressed in a certain style. I actually don't think we had anything else in common whatsoever, but you know, that's the teenage years for you. Music and style used to be really important, I guess. So, of course, we had this really awkward breakup, and I could never really act natural around him again. And we did run into each other quite a bit at music shows and stuff. And it was just a whole bunch of awkward for years to come. And a few years later, he got a friend that I'm going to call Fred, and I don't really remember how, but Fred and I also became friends. We used to hang out at his work and take a lot of Swedish fika, but a really weird thing happened around him, and I couldn't for the life of me act natural around him either. I was always super tense and speaking fast and with a higher pitched voice than I usually do, and I just couldn't relax. I don't know, it might be because he was really close friends with Chris, but looking back, I remember him being super judgmental about people and categorizing them in cool and uncool groups and being something of an elitist about who was the most cool, radical, rebel person. So I guess that could be a reason why too. Of course, today I also know that it's super common to just start acting like people around you expect you to, and Fred made it super clear that he didn't think that I was one of the cool kids. Overall, it was just a really odd relationship. I felt like the person I identify as barely existed around him, and it felt very toxic at times. But overall, it was nice to hang out with Fred. And he was a really fun guy, and we became sort of close, I guess. In the sense you can be close to someone who has no idea who you really are. But then again, do anyone really know who we identify as beneath our layers of skin and social rules? So anyway, one day I get this text from Fred, and he said he wanted to end our friendship, and he gave me some really odd reasons. I can't really remember what they were, but I instantly knew they were a lie. Like how we were too different, and something along the lines that he didn't enjoy my company. And that is fine and all, but since he always wanted to hang out, it just felt like such a 180. I don't know, it was so odd. And of course, losing a friend is really hard, and I was so upset that someone so easily cut me out of their lives and obviously lied about it. So, after a really long while, maybe months, I don't know, I asked him about the real reasons, and he finally gave them to me. And if I was shocked about his weird reasons before, these just stunned me. Okay, he did not want to hang out with me because the people I knew weren't cool enough and because I watched anime. That is weird in itself. And I mean, that someone would end a friendship because of someone's hobbies and friends is really hard for me to understand anyway. But the reason these things took me by such a surprise is because of the way he saw my life is so far from the way I see it myself. I asked him about who he was talking about, who were these people that he didn't like, and the people he mentioned weren't even friends with me. They were just friends of friends, or people that I met up with like once every 3 years. And I don't even watch anime that much. I have some trouble sleeping, so when I try to sleep, I watch shows to keep my head sort of busy but not invested. And sometimes it's anime, sometimes it's not. And at this time, I happen to watch One Piece, and I'm just... This bothers me more than it should, I know. Like, a reason he talked about was how I affectionately talk to him in Japanese. And I just find that so funny, because I don't speak Japanese. I don't even speak the language. And there's nothing wrong with having a genuine interest in Japan. It's a really odd reason to end a friendship for anyway, but since it's not even true in my case, it's just an extra layer of weird. I felt like he had no idea who I was, and that was obviously true. So at this point in my life, I found myself with not one awkward person to awkwardly meet at music shows, but two, and they knew each other, and I just know they spent time talking about me, about things that weren't true. And that is life for you. Every time I ran into him ever since was under really awkward circumstances. Like, for example, when I went to art school and one of my classmates were really into hairdressing, and I told him that he could do whatever he wanted with my head, so he cut and colored my hair. Of course, it was this really cool but weird abstract mess in all the colors. It looked really cool, but it was really weird. And of course, that's the day when I ran into Fred for the first time in years. When people have this perception of me that doesn't match up with my own, it really bothers me. I want people to see me like I see me, you know? Anyway, those of you who know me know that I usually try, the key word here is try, but I usually try to have some kind of moral to my stories. And if there's anything I want you to take away from this, is that those things doesn't matter. This was years ago. We never spoke again, and we probably never will, and none of us really care. And if you're experiencing something awkward or embarrassing, don't worry, one day you won't care, even if it's something really stressful like losing a friend. Anyway, I hope you like this sketchbook story time. I'm really curious about what you guys think of this story and if you've ever been through something similar. So please let me know in the comment section. And of course, let me know what you think of this type of video. I thought it was really fun to make, and I have a few more in store that I really want to share with you when I have more time on my hands. So yeah, let me know what you think of these story times, and of course, you know how this works. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified whenever I post. If you want to support this channel, please head over to Patreon and check out the rewards. I share some behind the scenes stuff, reference photos, and process shots and stuff like that. So if that's something you want to see, the link will be in the description. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around. Bye!